How are there? Good to see you at this moment. My name is James Komolafe, and what a pleasure welcoming you to this session. It's a session hosted by the School of Articulation and Behavioral Alignment Resources, also known as the SABA Resources. I hope you are keeping safe, and I hope you are observing the rule of social distancing and keeping the necessary protocols, just as you wash your hand with sanitizer, an alcohol-based sanitizer indeed, and other protocols there. Today we have a special topic, and it is titled Emotional Distancing Realities and the Challenge of Productivity Deficit in the lockdown period. What you are used to is social distancing, and the world is canvassing for social distancing so that we can protect ourselves, preserve our lives and that of our family members and loved ones. But there is the third aspect very many people are not aware of, and that third side of it that calls for emotional distancing and connection at the same time is the production aspect. So one, we have the protection. Two, we have the preservation. And of course, the production aspect of it, so that isolation will not create boredom, fatigue, panic, and trauma. Your isolation can become a productive avenue to develop yourself and to produce some certain values. So this is a COVID-19 fundamental exclusion, and the way to combine it will also be stress. The world is in pandemonium owing to the scourge of COVID-19 pandemic. Social distancing has come to be a concept most talked about in families, in homes, and in the nations, like I said. At this time of general lockdown in isolation, many are keeping to social distancing, and I hope you are keeping to social distancing. Now, from the psychological point of view, social distancing is seen in three perspectives. One is the affective social distance, which differentiates social categories by reason of sympathy or empathy, determining the basis of distancing or closeness. And the second is seen as normative social distance. And this is the differentiation between a major class and that of others. It is distancing by reason of differences in beliefs, operations, where you can recognize one group different from another one. And the third lane of social distancing is the interactive social distancing. And it is the distancing or closeness that ensues based on specific demand by a group from another one that brings about interaction among them. Now, borrowing a leaf from the above, social distancing is the keeping of the gap between people in order to forestall the possibility of contracting the deadly coronavirus pandemic through closeness. A distance of about 0.5 to 2 meters of feet, 2 feet, is recommended in order to minimize the contagious spill of fluid from a perceived victim to other people in the event of sneezing, coughing, and even common spitting. Social distancing observance operates under the following template. 1. It is based on the current COVID-19 pandemic virus. Number 2, it is a disposition in suspicion to avoid certain apprehension. 3, social distancing is a mandated instruction to the society directing people to play safe from contamination. Number 4, social distancing is a grant for personal isolation from the crowd around this time period. Number 5, it is a stay on your own palliative, keeping oneself in isolation. And number 6, social distancing are other exercises complement, which has a way of introducing fear if not properly handled. 7, in most cases, COVID-19 social distancing only look at 2 out of the 3 variables involved in the comprehensive model of the lockdown. So what are those 3 elements in social distancing and public lockdown? 1, protection. This is a deliberate attempt to shield one's personality from certain pollution. It is keeping watch over your total self in order to steer clear of infection of COVID-19 pandemic. The second element of social distancing is preservation, which is a safeguard measure where one keeps away from pollutions and contamination in order to maintain sanity in every way possible. Most withdrawals into social isolation due to lockdown in order to forestall the possibility of infection is only addressing a necessary condition but never a sufficient one. This is because social distancing is both a negative and a positive dictum. So the third element of social distancing is production. This is the third article that is fast missing out in the equation of social distancing and the lockdown. Most people keep away absolutely without realizing the production side on a family or personal note. So what do? They just separate themselves for the purpose of locking off and hiding away from the coronavirus pandemic out there. Every social distancing dynamics must go in this order: preservation, protection, and of course, production. Separation is for the purpose of transformation. This is the behavioral balance required to exhibit and exude energy in the right dimension during these critical times of COVID-19 pandemic. The production component of social distancing has the following implication for which many people are not aware of. You are distancing yourself socially to be able to achieve the following outcomes. And that is why we call it emotional connection or emotional distancing. So what are those outcomes? Number 1, it is leveraging the realities of emotional distance in order to boost personal vibration. You connect with people as an emotional being so as to boost your vibration so that your mood can be raised up in isolation. 2, it is recourse to intimacy development and overhaul as against intimidation and apprehension. Anything that brings you into that is called emotional connection and distancing. Number 3, it is a rediscovery of your personal presence for the purpose of personal evaluation and overhaul. That is emotional distancing. You distance yourself from other people so as to see yourself very vividly and accurately and do the needful. Number 4, it is a separation for the purpose of new discovery. You need to see something new about yourself, about the world around you. It is this time you can do it. 5, it is a maximum time to invest into your family relationship and overhaul your responsibility during this time. 6, it is a moment for sincerity, authenticity, and productivity in terms of value creation as one devolves ingenious ideas and initiatives. 7, it is participating and enrolling in an online or offline program so as to keep mentally fit and alert. Number 8, it is time to rejig and determine new emotional environment in order to become accustomed to the issue at stake. Number 9, it is your moment to recalibrate behaviorally as you look at your lifestyle protocols and create the balance that you require for an upward shift in your own life. And number 10, it is a moment for deliberate dieting so as to recover lost ground if there is anyone at all around your life. And it's a moment to build the rounded lifestyle. Number 11, it is your period for simple affirmations and decrees based on certain conviction that you hold so dear in your own life. You speak to yourself in a positive manner so that you can boost your energy for better outcomes. Number 12, you are able to improve on your hydration and become more soluble via. Number 12, you are able to improve on your hydration and become more soluble through water therapy. And so what is that one? You wake up first thing in the morning and all you take is a bottle of water, warm water or lime water, warm. And for the next 45 minutes or 1 hour, you are not going to take anything, not even tea, so that that water can go inside you, purge you, detoxify you, so that you can become much more lighter and good to go for your day. Watch the color of your urine and you discover that it has some purging effect on your system. Social distancing can afford you that opportunity. Invest into that. Then number 13 is aerobics and other mental or physical exercises around your compound. Wow, it could be excitingly refreshing as to keeping one in shape, as it will also help in boosting your personal energies. So the regular exercises there to keep fit as to burn excess fats as well. Very vital. Number 14, it will give you opportunity for deep intimacy through devotion, a moment of quiet where you can observe silent moment and mindfulness, which are two powerful instruments of self-realization. So it's a high time you give yourself permission from other things in order to stay with yourself. That is called personal accommodation. To really enjoy yourself, be with yourself, study yourself. And last but not the least, number 15 is opportunity to invest into your rest as you begin to unbundle in order to sleep well and sleep again. All the accumulated sleeplessness. Now you have time to unwind and to sleep very well so that you can be fresh, cool, and smart again. And the last line in this episode is that anything you can do and undo in order to boost your wellness, immune system, and vitality should be done. interaction, and all other things you do while keeping to the critical precautions will enable you to become productive at this lockdown. While we await the terminal end of COVID-19 pandemic, it's time to build capacity, bridge every gap as we block all behavioral loopholes wherever you can find them. Africa shall be great, and our nation has a greater future. We will soon see the end of COVID-19, and everything will fall into its proper place again. Harness the opportunities that are at this moment and be your best self. Thank you for listening to this episode. Try and keep safe by all means, and see you next time. Cheers and bye.